The end of the year is upon us. It feels kind of weird because it feels like 2021 just started just yesterday, you know? Like, this year went by really, really fast. And there's a lot that's happened in this year, especially in the last couple of months, specifically, at least for me. And it's been a while since I've done a video. I must apologize for that. It's just things have been happening that are just beyond my control. But my return back to the channel isn't going to be, you know, just bog standard stuff like, you know, Krita or weird OBS updates. No. As you can see, you know, I have a room, a pretty large room based on what people tell me. I don't really think it's that big. I've definitely seen bigger. But what I've never done before is a setup tour, more specifically a room tour. So that's what we're gonna do today. So to kick off or to round out the year, more or less, because there's still one more video before Christmas that's gonna come out. Stay tuned for that. Let's round off the year with a bit of a room tour and just kind of show you what I got in my room, what the tech I have, what I use day to day, and yeah, let's get into it, shall we? Of course, this frickin' mini fridge had to make that. Did you have to make those noises just to get the people's attention? Do you? I'll explain that in a minute. Let's get into it. Just one word. Just a single word, and that's it. Good Lord. This video is sponsored by my Discord server. So would you like to join the larger community at hand of fantastic people, great people, lovely people, all the people? You know, you're more welcome to join. The link for that will be down below. And if you like any updates on the channel, anything at all, I also have a Twitter page. Links for that will also be down below. So this video is just kind of the formalities of the way. This video is just gonna be the room. There's nothing behind here is a door to another. That's another part of the house. You don't need to worry about that. It's just the room. We're gonna start here behind my desk. We're gonna work our way around clockwise until we get back to where we are now. So I'm gonna record this on my phone. I'm gonna leave my camera set up all the way here so you can see what it looks like on the setup. Because you know, the other reason why I buy Google Pixels for that camera. So let's get started, shall we? All right, so let's start here with the desk. Pardon some of the clutter around here. This room really wasn't taken care of by the previous owners, so some things are kind of messy, and overall the carpet's not really that great. But let's start with the desk setup. So it's not the fanciest thing you've ever seen, more or less. It's just basic, and it works for me for what I need. Let's start with the audio side of things. So on my desk, I have this little buddy right here. My beautiful Behringer C1. Behringer C1. This is a Behringer U4 UMC22. That's the microphone. That thing over there. That's a C1. The Behringer U4 UMC22. This is an utterly fantastic audio interface. It's USB. Has one Midas preamp while including another preamp for instruments. You can see right there. That Midas preamp does wonders for my voice. It's fantastic. I absolutely love this thing. If you want a cheap, not an expensive audio interface for audio, you just like, you don't care about mixing, you don't care about, you know, all that kind of thing. You just want audio and you want it fast. Well, this is a fantastic option. And don't mind my bang. I mean, you know, I'm finished that. Delicious. Not my favorite flavor, but you know. Moving up, we have this pretty basic HP monitor. It's a HP 24W. It is a very basic 1080p, 60 hertz monitor. 24 inches, not that fantastic. The one next to it is an Asus VG224. It is also 24 inches, 1080p, 60 hertz. Nothing fancy. I honestly don't really care about high refresh rate, high resolution stuff for the time being. That is going to change here soon. And of course, we also have lovely Weasel here as my desktop background. Can't forget about that. But this is a pretty good monitor. The colors are pretty vibrant, and I also find them to be pretty accurate too, more or less. If I actually switch, one of the cool things about here is that this thing has a dial or a joystick that lets me very quickly and easily switch monitor inputs. And let me switch my KVM here a little bit. That's not the right one. There we go. I was watching another setup tour video earlier, but I have two computers. One is my Windows computer sitting right here, which I'll get to in a minute, and also get to this in a minute. But I have two computers. This one runs Windows. This other one runs Ubuntu, specifically 21.04. Let me check real quick. That's not how you spell settings. It is running 21.10. So it's something I've been trying to work out here, trying to use daily as my daily driver. But the thing is that I'm using one keyboard and mouse, but I got two computers. So how do I control with having to use the built-in keyboard? Well, I have this little buddy right here. Don't mind the cable management. The thing is, this is all a temporary setup, by the way. This is a 4-port USB KVM. You control it using this little button here, and just press the button and it switches inputs. Pretty simple. It wasn't too expensive. Startech is probably my preferred brand when it comes to KVMs and other kind of things like this right here. This is also a Startech USB hard drive enclosure, and this has a USB drive in it right now. I've nicknamed it Qualava, and it is a WD Blue drive, just a pretty standard blue, not caviar. There's actually caviar sitting up on top of that. That's an older drive, but this is just a standard WD Blue. It's 72,000 RPMs. It's pretty quick, but not the fastest. I just wanted the capacity out of it because I think it's 2 or 4 terabytes. I forget exactly which one. Moving down here, we have my keyboard, and this is my baby. Not necessarily my actual baby, but is a Razer or not a Chroma. Don't mind the mess. This thing is very old. It is pretty old. I've had this thing since 2016. Or was it 2015? I think it was 2016, 2015. I forget exactly which one, but it is several years old, so it's got some caked up dirt on it, but damn, does it work so nicely. I love this thing. It's got Cherry MX blue switches, I think? Yeah, those sound like blues. Yeah, those sound like blues to me. It's a fantastic keyboard. It feels fantastic. The keystrokes are quick and easy, because watch what this one I do here. So I had to go into multi-view or to application view. Boom. Boom. It is that quick and easy to get to press key switches. I love this thing. I'm not looking to replace it anytime soon because I'm going to wear this thing out until the day it drops dead, basically, because I really don't want to have to buy a new keyboard and mouse. Speaking of mouse, this is actually the newest mouse to my collection. This is a Razer Viper Mini. It's probably the lightest mouse I think I have ever used. It is fantastic. I love it. It has a button on it that changes the DPI sensitivity. I usually keep it on one setting, but when I switch to the KVM, it forgets the setting, so I have to reset it every time. But I've actually calculated how many clicks it takes to get back to the original setting, which is 4 after a switch, so it's perfectly fine. Anyway, before we get to the computers, last part of my main switch is actually these. These are my headphones. They are wireless, but for some reason on Ubuntu you can't play music through them on Bluetooth, so I actually have them connected to the 3.5mm jack. These are a pair of JBL Live 660 headphones. They have adaptive noise cancellation. They are decently comfortable. Not the best I've ever felt, but they sound pretty good. They did require a bit of a break-in period because one of JBL's claim to fame is what they call their signature sound, and those ones that signature sound really contributes to their bass. The bass is great. It's just that sometimes if the bass is too punchy, they peak and they clip, which is not great because from a brand that's been in the business as long as JBL, I would have certainly expect them to have know a thing or two about how to fix that, but they don't. So I'm probably going to upgrade them to a pair of Pioneer DJ headphones here at some point. So anyway, you don't care about this mat because this is just a standard gross, overused, overeaten on mat. Computers are also kind of gross and overeaten on. I'm a messy person, forgive me. So this is kind of like my main workstation computer, for at least for the time being. This is an Acer Nitro 5. It has a Core i5 900H and a GTX 1050 Max-Q. It has I upgraded the RAM in it basically as soon as I bought it, really. It has 32 gigs of Kingston DDR4 RAM. I think 3200 megahertz, I think, is the speed for them. It's pretty good. It also has a 1 terabyte Crucial MX500 SSD in it. It's M.2, so it's really fast too. I love this thing. It's been a very reliable computer. It also decently games well too. Decently well too. It's fantastic. The computer next to it is the one that I built, and don't mind the fact that Wi-Fi card is out in the middle there. That I had to remove it because it wasn't playing nice with with the cylinder distribution I was installing on it, so I had to remove it, just kept it out because this thing also, don't mind cable match, this thing also has built-in Wi-Fi, so I don't really use that card too much. But this is like my pride and joy when it comes to like my hardware. I built this thing hand built myself. It's got a it's an all AMD system. Let me get in here closer. Sorry that you got the reflection. It's got a Ryzen 5 3600, RX 5500 XT. It's on a MSI. Everything is on an MSI B550 gaming edge Wi-Fi. The cooler is a Deep Cool Captain 240EX. RAM is a 32 gigs of Kingston HyperX RAM. If you're wondering what that Wi-Fi card is, it's a TP-Link. Yeah, it's a TP-Link Archer, Archer style. And the case is a Fantex Eclipse P300. It is a fantastic computer. This thing has been hella reliable. It is not let me down in any regard as of yet, and I've said probably going to let me down hardcore here soon. And yeah, that's kind of it for the desk. As for my chair is a pretty bog standard. It says Serta standard thing. It's comfortable. Although it does seem to sink in here at this particular end down here. Don't like that particularly much. What else about this? I don't know. My Goku mug. That actually changes color when it heats up. I use this thing as like a pencil mug for right now. Up back here, kind of like there's something about a little bit more background about my background, pun intended. This is actually kind of cool. I got this at the Holly Mo party back in September. It is just a pretty bog standard clock. I need to replace the battery though, because it's already dead, as you can see. But it's a neon clock. It's got a transformer sitting down there on the bottom. I love this thing. It's pretty nice. I like it. Hooker Headers is also one of my personal favorite header brands out there for like old hot rods and muscle cars. Back here, we just got some pretty standard, don't mind this. This is a mistake of mine that I will never do again. I'm not gonna explain too much about it right now. This is kind of some standard Halloween decoration lights that I have around here. You're not really supposed to use these year round, but I use them year round because why not? Back here, so people have asked about this thing here. This poster, let me zoom out right here real quick. This poster. This is a Christmas gift from a few years ago. It is one of my favorite posters out here. It is a it is a faithful reproduction of the original Star Wars movie poster they would see at the movie theater when you go to see the movie. Like, it's literally the movie poster. It has like all the credits and everything that's hand painted. Like, this thing is so cool. I love this thing. Like, I'm more of a Star Trek guy, don't get me wrong, but this is like one of my favorite pieces of art that I have sitting in here. It is fantastic, this thing. Moving along, we got some just random stuff. I got a Pikachu poster that I got at Target one time. I got my this is kind of funny. I got when Animal Crossing New Horizons came out. This was a gift that you would get if you got it at GameStop, and I need to frame this thing because this is fantastic. New Horizons has quickly become one of my personal favorite versions of Animal Crossing, just for the customization aspect of things, and I want to get that framed so it's not, you know, exposed to the elements. Here's my calendar. This calendar is nothing really more to keep track of my workout days. So I'll kind of explain what system I have going here. So there are dots that I place on each day that I need to work out, or it needs to be an optional workout, or a mandatory workout. So a single blue dot is workout day. That means it's a day that I can work out. I can't work out, but I need to make every effort to do so. A double dot is a mandatory workout day, so it means no matter what happens during that day, I need to work out. So usually so I'll probably explain what I usually do for work. So here in Huntsville, we have the Huntsville Aquatic Center. I have some equipment in my car that I usually go to, that I usually use to work out. I'm not gonna explain too much about it, but I go to the Huntsville Aquatic Center, I go out to the pool, I work out in the pool, go home and whatever. Now the ones with the black dot with the two dots below it, that is an optional workout day, which means if anything were to get in the way, I don't have to work out that day. Pretty simple as that. This is also another one of my personal favorite pieces of art. This is a Christmas gift from a few years ago as well. Persistence, the greater difficulty, the more the glory and smile to get. Words to live by right there. Actually, if we move down here, you probably can't see it. Oh, that's right there. Oh, you probably would never guess this is down here. This is kind of like my my art board thingamajigger.
It's just a display thing. It's just a display case I got at Lowe's. It would take way too long to explain everything that is on here. So I'm gonna go for some of my personal favorite things. Most notably, this is a wax warmer. I got some pretty delightful evergreen scented wax cubes. Now, if you're not hip to these things are fantastic. So basically, these wax cubes contain fragrance in them. When you put them on the wax warmer, there's a little bulb in there that heats up the wax, and as the wax melts, it releases fragrance. It's a much safer way to release fragrance in the house without having to, if you want like real fragrance, not like the stuff you get in like an oil can, or using like something like these, which I used at some point, incense. I never really liked the incense. It's not that it smelled bad, it's just that I would mostly smell smoke rather than incense, so I stopped using it. This is pretty cool. Okay, so a few years ago, this is Wenlock, one of the mascots for the 2012 Olympics in London. A few years ago, I was living in London because my dad's a government employee, so we moved around quite a bit, and London was one of the places that I lived. We were there during the 2012 Olympics. It was the second time that I was able to attend a Olympic opening ceremony. That was the first one was Salt Lake 2002 because I was still living in Ogden, which is about 50 miles north of Salt Lake City at the time. And this is pretty cool. This is unopened, mint, unopened. Not sure how much it's worth, probably not worth the whole ton because the 2012 Olympics wasn't the most lucrative of all time, so it's probably not the most valuable thing. But I like this thing, I just kind of keep them there. But yeah, it's really the most thing about this. So I'm gonna move on to the next part, my entertainment center. Now this is pretty basic, nothing too special about this. Probably should start with the things on the side. I'm gonna sit down on my bed because it's comfortable. So this down here, the sound bar, is a TC, don't mind the dusting, this thing gets real dusty pretty quickly and I don't have time all the time to dust it off. This is a TCL Alto 6 Plus. I think it's an Alto 6, it might be a 4 Plus. I forget exactly which one. It sounds pretty decent, it's not the best sounding thing in the world, although the subwoofer I think is broken. Because a couple of nights ago, I was just watching TV and it started to rumble hardcore, and you can, like, as I was trying to unplug the thing back here, I could feel the air it was pushing coming from back of the subwoofer. So something's wrong with it, I'm not sure what. I'm probably gonna replace this at some point anyway, maybe with a proper sound system. Not very sure, but it sounds pretty good. Bass is pretty punchy, although it's not the most you've ever seen. Down here is actually my original GameCube with Need for Speed Underground 2 in it. That was the last game I played. Right now, because this TV does not have analog inputs, I can't play this thing. I need to get an adapter because there's an adapter for this called the Prism HD. It goes into the digital AV out, which this GameCube does happen to have. The first run GameCube, which is has this port. This is the digital AV out. If your GameCube does not have one of these, you cannot use the Prism HD, but this one has one because this is one of the first run GameCubes to come out. So I can use that, so I need to get my hands on that. It's $70 too, so it's not particularly expensive. Beside this is my Roku Ultra. Fantastic little thing, I love this thing. It's pretty quick too, it's not particularly slow. And beside it, the pride and joy of my entertainment center is a Sony Bravia 4K TV. It is fantastic, I love this thing. My grandfather likes to compliment on my parents' TV downstairs looking good. I think this looks a lot better, and it's smaller, so it has less pixels to work with. So that's kind of funny, and it's fantastic. It's not too expensive. I think it was like $500. I bought it with part of my stimulus check, so it was good money well spent. I like this thing. Anyway. Moving around, bed, nothing special about bed, it's just a bed. Don't mind the clutter on top of my mini fridge. This thing is nice, I like this thing. This is my mini fridge. It makes a lot of loud noises because the manufacturer here, Hisense, did not design this thing particularly well, so it makes a lot of cracking noises. You probably heard that at the beginning of the video. It's pretty good, it keeps things pretty cold. I got a bunch of crap in here right now, just a bunch of energy drinks and food that I eat at a later point just to kind of preserve them. It is a Hisense model, it's very cheap, it's literally less than $100 MSRP, it's 99 bucks, and it will keep your things cold, and it will get cold and keep things staying cold. And again, don't mind the clutter, I need to find some place to put it. Moving back over here, I got the Shrine of Sneak. Now if you're not hip to Sneak, you need to get hip to Sneak. Sneak is a fantastic energy drink brand. If you want healthy energy drinks, Sneak is your brand to go for. I think their options are extremely tasty, especially sour apple, blue raspberry, and strawberry watermelon. These are empty totes, by the way. I kept these. Oh, speaking of which, Sneak Generations, I've tried both flavors. I only have one of the bottles because I've lost the other one. That is fantastic. That is a fantastic strawberry flavored energy drink. And I got a bunch of shakers and everything. Not too special, but I call it the Shrine of Sneak because, well, I love Sneak and I want to show it off. Moving forward this way, before we get to the last two bits, I go over my recording setup. So, put the chair out of the way. This is what I am looking at basically. Let me move it in here. This is basically what I am looking at. Oh, hi. You can see me in the video monitor. This is what I'm looking at when I'm looking for recording videos, more or less. I'm going to start with the light. This is an Elgato ring light. I was kind of skeptical about using it when I first bought it because of the price. Because like, oh god, that's kind of expensive for a ring light. But it's proven to be fantastic. I love this thing. I got it set to a pretty warm temperature. I think it's 6,000 Kelvin. I think is what I have it set to right now. That's kind of a guess. But I love this thing. This is what gives me this nice, soft, even diffused light. I love this thing. Moving down onto here, this is the microphone that I use. This is a Behringer C1. I have had this thing for a hell of a long time. I've had this thing since 2018. It is a fantastic microphone. Highly recommend if you want a budget microphone setup for XLR. I think the XLR cable's starting to come out again. We'll fix that later. It sounds fantastic. It is very cheap. I think it was like $60 on Sweetwater. And if you want to buy anything, I'll have links to everything down below here. Most of it will be to where I had bought it because I know a thing or two about where to find things and buy them. There won't be affiliate links because I'm not cool enough for that. But yeah, this is fantastic. If you want an XLR setup for a similar price to a Blue Yeti, C1, U4, UMC22, as we mentioned before, way to go. It is sitting on a Samson MK5 microphone arm. This thing is so freaking heavy duty. The mirror on my camera flipped around. Let me fix that real quick. There we go. This thing is super hella heavy duty. Like, listen to this thing. That is a loud ding for something like that. Oh, that's even louder than I pitched. Yeah, this thing's fantastic. I love this thing. It's super heavy duty, high quality. I wish the logo wasn't made on the sticker. I would hope that it would be imprinted for the price I paid for this thing. So yeah. My tripods, I got a couple tripods. This is just a Sunpack Travel Smart 50. is the tripod used when I go out and film things out in public. Because this one here, this Targus, this Targus one's very old. You can tell because you can do that. Yeah, I've had this thing since high school. It's done me well. It was the only tripod that I could find that would support a guy who was 6'4" at the time, mind you. And yeah, on top of it is the workhorse of the channel, a Nikon D3400. Now say what you will about Nikon, but this thing will capture every freaking detail on your face as you could possibly imagine. And I hate that. Well, I love that because there's detail. But it's using the net lens is the kit lens. It's an AFP Nikkor 18 to 55 millimeter. I think it's F something. I think it's F3 font. I can't read that upside down. It records up to 1080p 60, which I have been doing all day today. It is a fantastic little camera. I'm looking to upgrade it to a Nikon Z50 at some point. I'm gonna get around to the back here. Don't knock everything over. Shoot, that's what happens when you're tall. It's fantastic. And the last bit of my recording setup, let's do a little merry-go-round. Hey, hi, how you doing? Is a Atomos Shinobi. It is not a video recorder. It is a video monitor. It does basically everything that Atomos Ninja can do, just not record, basically. I use it mostly for focus peaking, so I can get it to, yeah, so you see those red lines that are appearing? Basically what that means is that everything with the red line around it is in focus, while everything that does not is not in focus. Pretty simple. The last couple of bits, right down here, to kind of keep, this room does not have particularly great insulation, So a lot of the time I have to find creative ways to keep the room warm without having to use the whole house heater, because that's really expensive. And this is my solution. This is a infrared heater from LifeSmart. It is extremely fantastic. I love this thing. It is not too expensive. I think it was like $100 at Lowe's. I think it was Lowe's, either that or Home Depot. And it will keep your space extremely warm for extremely long time. It's off right now because it's too hot in here, because you can probably, so that's probably a testament to how good this thing is. Now beside it is kind of like my kind of nerd wall, I suppose. This is where I keep all of my, or most of my nerdy stuff. So there's some stuff sitting back over there. This is kind of like my nerdy stuff. These are Skylanders trophies. When I got my Wii U, I still had those. This is a Kyogre plushie I got at a convention. I think this is Hamicon, as well as the Gengar was also at Hamicon. The box for my Captain 240X. Amiibo up there. So these things, some people might ask about these things. These things are pretty cool. So when I was still working for Publix, we had a customer. She was one of our regulars. She passed away a few years ago, which is unfortunate, but so you probably saw them back over there. Those things over there with the birds on those are shadow box birdhouses. And she made those just kind of like a hobby. And they're fantastic. They're extremely beautiful. They're extremely high quality. They're great. And I was so sad to hear when she passed away a few years ago. And I wish she could stay. She's been around to make more of those for people, because they were beautiful. She would give them to all the people in the store. She was a kind woman, very fantastic. Her husband, I still try to keep up with him, but she's fantastic, and she made those things. Moving on, these are not from I did not get these at TwitchCon. I've actually never been to a TwitchCon, even though they say TwitchCon on there. They were kind of swag when I bought some GamerSup stuff. I don't really like GamerSups too much. I think ever since their whole debacle with things, it's fine. This is pretty cool. I love this thing. So this thing right here, these are badges from the Sinnoh region. I got these at Comic-Con in Birmingham. I think literally the event before pandemic. This is 2019. These are super cool. I love these things. This particular box appeared in the announcement video for the 2020 cons. You probably can tell what that happened, but these are pretty cool. These are one of my personal favorite pieces of swag. This is also pretty cool. Red Riot, Ejiro Kirishima from My Hero Academia. If you do not watch My Hero Academia, I'm sorry, we cannot be friends. If you do not like Ejiro Kirishima and Red Riot, we can definitely not be friends, because I will shun you from all of my society for the rest of eternity. Because this thing's really cool. It's just don't touch this. You're gonna make your finger explode. I don't know. Down below it is my game collection. I got it sorted basically from oldest system, and starting with PC and movies, but oldest. It's basically organized by system from oldest to newest. So it starts with GameCube, moves up to PS3, then Wii, 3DS, Wii U, and then PS4. I used to have some Switch games, but to get some cash on hand, I had to sell both my PS4 and my Switch, which is fine because the Switch OLED is out now, and the new Switch there's been rumors on the grapevine that there's gonna be a new Switch in a couple years anyway, so I'm not too worried. I also got this thing. You youngins will probably remember this thing right here. If I can get the damn thing out. Cheat code explosion. It's actually 2 books in one. So it's one side is for console, the other one is for handheld. If you were a kid in the early 2000s, this was your best friend, because it had every possible cheat code you can possibly imagine for any game that you can possibly imagine. I got this at Scholastic Book Fair in 2005, I think. I've had it ever since. I mean, nothing these days will work with it because, it's 2005, but that was your best friend back then. And they also got some movies down here. I got Star Trek, the 2009 reboot. I got E.T. I never watched that because I never liked E.T. Oh, look, Polar Express. What's in it? I don't know. You tell me. Oh, look. Polar Express. Don't know why I did that. Close, damn you. And down here, this is something I've been trying to complete. So the Pokemon anime, seasons 10 through 13, my favorite seasons of the anime, probably because Ash trains a weasel in it. I've been trying to collect them, but these things are hard to come by, and they're expensive. Like, really expensive. I think, which one was it? I think box 1 of Galactic Battles, I think this was like 30 bucks or even 60 bucks. I forget exactly which one. This was super expensive, but I want to buy these because I want to watch this on the anime. So yeah, and also got a giant banana. and a giant Pikachu. Now this back here, it's pretty cool. I need to get this hung up. This is a result from a dynamometer. Now, if you're not hip to a dynamometer, a dynamometer is often referred to a dyno machine, and it's basically a device that measures how much horsepower and torque an internal combustion engine is making at the wheels or at the crank. And this is for my 2015 Dodge Dart. It has the 2.4-liter Tiger Shark engine in it, and it makes 184 at base. With weather corrections, making 196.5 at the wheels. So that is a beast of an engine for what I've put into it. I'm not going to go into too much details about it because that's the topic for another video, and also my air purifier. And yeah, that's pretty much the room. I know it's kind of messy. I know the things aren't the cleanest around here. But yeah, back to your regularly scheduled Chris at the thing. Okay, going now. Bye!
Well, that went a little longer than I expected it to, but there's a lot to go around here. And yeah, I hope you liked that. I wasn't sure how I was going to be able to do this thing. I was thinking of a few ways to do it, but I hope it turned out okay. At least I think it. I hope people will be interested into seeing what my space looks like. I don't know. But let's try another video. I'll try to link everything I possibly can in the description below. They won't be affiliate links, so I won't be making money off them because I don't have a Amazon affiliates program quite yet. But I'm probably gonna make one before I make them anyway, so it's probably fine. But I'll try to keep a link for everything in the description below, so you can pick up anything that you think you like. And yeah, if you like this video, then consider giving it a like. And if you didn't, well, whatever you do helps me. So thank you. If you'd like to see more from the channel, to be sure to subscribe with the notifications on. Can't emphasize that enough. And if you'd like to join the larger community at hand, the Expurgian Empire, link to my Discord will also be down below, as well as my Twitter. If you want to get any kind of updates on the channel, anything at all, that will be also down below. Anyway, thank you for joining this video, everyone. I'll see you guys in the next one. See you later. I don't know why I have a giant banana. I saw it at a convention. I was like, you know what? I am destined for that banana. I need that banana. I want that banana. I need banana right now!